The base city in northern Liaoning, Black Cloud City. 700 kilometers north of Black Cloud City, there is a dangerous area circled in red on the map. Number 308 County Seat Site. There are dense buildings in the ruins, and countless monsters occupy them. This is also the lair of the black-scaled wild boar. Black-scaled wild boars have rough skin and thick flesh, are ferocious and bloodthirsty, and move in groups. Except for a scale on their head that can sell for 3,000 yuan, other materials are worthless at all. On the Warrior Forum, the black-scaled wild boar was rated as the monster with the lowest cost performance. Ordinary warrior squads are not willing to come here at all. At this time, behind a dilapidated residential building in the ruins, several warriors appeared. Cheng Lidong held a saber with regret on his face. Luge, don't blame me, blame you for not being flattering. Your sister-in-law is not your wife, why are you desperately protecting her? A second-hand product who has given birth to a child is her blessing to be favored by young Master Su. If she becomes young Master Su's woman, won't your benefits be less? Luge, who had broken his legs and was lying among the corpses of 4 black-scaled wild boars, had dull eyes. He is still a little confused. After all, a few minutes ago, he was lying in bed reading a book as a terminal brain cancer patient. The terminal brain cancer is extremely painful, and his only solution is to read novels to divert his attention. Recently, he has been fascinated by Swallowing the Stars. I was deeply attracted by the author's huge worldview and immersed in it. Relying on this book, he passed one long and difficult day after another. Just now, the tumor suddenly deteriorated, and he lost consciousness with a sharp pain in his head. Then wake up in this body. Unexpectedly, before the memory was digested, he was stabbed. Both legs were missing from the knee down, and blood was still oozing from the cuts. Cheng Lidong cut it. This guy is his captain, an intermediate warrior. At this time, a head poked out from an off-road vehicle not far away, and shouted impatiently, "Captain Cheng, kill him quickly and leave, and you can still go to the nearest supply point to rest before dark." "Brother, young Master Su is urging you, if you don't have the heart to do it, let me do it." A yellow-faced man beside Cheng Lidong was about to step forward with a knife in his hand. "Team leader." Luge spoke suddenly. "I was led in by you. I have always regarded you as my own elder brother. If I could die by your hands, I would die with no regrets. In the warehouse safe at the base, I used all my savings to buy a full set of 7 series combat uniforms. I originally planned to wear them when I broke through to the general level, but it seems that I won't be able to use them. Captain, I will give you your birthday next week. Give it a gift. 7 series combat uniform set." Cheng Lidong reached out to stop the yellow-faced man, and frowned. The value of the 7 series suit is over 100 million, and it is a lie not to be tempted. "Captain, I'm not asking you to let me go, I know you can't help yourself, don't blame you, do it." After all, Luge closed his eyes as if appointed. Shua! A sharp blood shadow sword stuck to his face and sank 3 points into the ground. Cheng Lidong sighed, "If you were so sensible earlier, why did you come to this point?" "Because you and I have been together for so long, I will give you a chance. Whether you can live or not depends on God's will." The yellow-faced man became anxious immediately. "Brother! Shut up, I will explain to young Master Su, get in the car." Cheng Lidong and the yellow-faced man got on the off-road vehicle together. Su Xiao, who was sitting in the co-pilot seat, had a smile that was not a smile. "Captain Cheng, I'm waiting for you to explain to me." Cheng Lidong closed the car door. He pointed to the front left. "Young Master Su, there are 5 black-scaled wild boars coming over there, following the smell of blood. At such a close distance, Luge can't deal with it even under normal circumstances. Lost 2 legs." The two turned their heads to look. Sure enough, 5 fat and strong black-scaled wild boars the size of a car emerged from the weeds. The goal was Luge's direction. Wonderful! Young Master Su's eyes lit up. If you don't kill yourself, it's not a violation of the Alliance's ban. I'm afraid that kid will miss you when he is eaten by wild boars. Captain Cheng, you are still the bad guy. Drive fast, it's 2, and I don't like it. Boom! The engine of the military off-road vehicle roared, and it flew away. Luge, who was lying on the ground, let out a long breath as he heard the off-road vehicle gradually go away. Bet right. Cheng Lidong, that insidious and hypocritical bastard, really didn't kill him directly. After continuous fusion of memories just now, except for a small part hidden in the depths of the soul that cannot be seen clearly, everything else is clear. In 2053, Huaxia, 6 base cities, Extreme Martial Arts, Thunder and Lightning Martial Arts, HR Alliance. This is the world that devours the starry sky. Luge, 23 years old, is a senior fighter in the HR League of Hejiang City and a sniper of Dongshen's team. Su Zhang is one of the 12 second-class families in the HR Alliance in China, the young master of the Su family, with a romantic nature. Su Zhang met Luge's widowed sister-in-law Luo Yi by chance, and was shocked and fascinated. Su Zhang vowed to get Luo Yi. How could Luge, who knew Su Jiang's virtues, let his sister-in-law fall into the fire pit? His temper was like a fire, and he destroyed Su Jiang's plan several times in a row. It almost caused trouble to the HR Alliance branch in Liubei City. In this way, Luge was regarded as a thorn in Su Jiang's side. Dongshen's team was easily bought by him, and they agreed to get rid of Luge in the wilderness. So there was the opening scene. Since I am allowed to live again, I will go all out if there is a glimmer of hope. The severe pain of the broken leg made Luge grit his teeth. Boy, if I survive by chance, I will avenge you. Cha-cha. There was the sound of heavy footsteps in the distant bushes. There are monsters coming. Luge was very anxious, his legs were broken now, and he couldn't walk at all. Is it necessary to hang up just after crossing? At this moment, a voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Oh, I found 4 black-scaled wild boar corpses within 10 meters of the host, worth 2,000 energy points. Do you want to recover them? Recycle. Luge didn't hesitate. No matter what kind of ghosts and monsters appeared now, he would firmly grasp them. As soon as the words fell, the 4 wild boar corpses beside him disappeared. Then he appeared in a white space. A dark golden honeycomb more than 3 meters high is suspended in midair. Buzz! The size of a thumb, the whole body is as black as ink, just like the old buffalo creature seen in my hometown flying out of the hive. The old bull bee flew around the place where his broken leg was. The bleeding stopped and the wound miraculously healed. Thanks. Luge finally relieved the pain and recovered a bit of vitality. The old bull bee flew in front of him. Congratulations to the host for successfully binding the hive. Do you want to spend 2,000 energy points to exchange for the split body? Split body? Can I exchange my legs first? My situation is very dangerous. The most important thing for him now is to be able to run and jump, and get out of danger quickly. Sorry, the medical function of the hive has not been restored, and it is temporarily unavailable. The initial function can only be exchanged for the split body. The old bull bee flapped its wings lightly, and a transparent panel appeared. Above is the detailed form. It takes 1,000 energy points to exchange for a primary warrior level split body. Exchanging for an intermediate warrior level split body requires 2,000 energy points. To exchange for an advanced warrior level split body, 3,000 energy points are required. It takes 100,000 energy points to exchange for a primary warrior level split body. It takes 200,000 energy points to exchange for an intermediate warrior level split body. It takes 10 million energy points to exchange for a primary war god level split body. Exchange planetary level. Exchange star rating. Exchange for universe grade. Exchange. Note, it cannot be exchanged for a split body that is higher than the host's current physical fitness. Reminder, the host was originally a high-level fighter, but his physical fitness dropped to a mid-level fighter due to a broken leg. Luge was stunned after reading it, meaning that now the highest can only be exchanged for intermediate fighter splits? He looked at the huge beehive, and tentatively asked, "Infinite violence mode? Could this be the Zerg brood? It doesn't seem right, the Zerg brood should still be sleeping in Chenangjia. What is this? Zerg brood?" The old bull bee flapped its wings quickly, quite angry. "Don't compare the great hive with low-level creatures like Zerg. In addition to being absolutely obedient, the split body exchanged from the hive is a high-level intelligent creature that can learn, think, and grow. It is not a low-level product like the Zerg that only knows how to kill. Our honeycomb can also grow. The more the number of converted fissions accumulates, the more perfect the function will be." Luge narrowed his eyes. "Then what is the function of the hive now?" "Now only the space and consciousness of the hive associated with the split body are shared." The old bull bee explained, "Each split body carries 1 cubic meter of portable space, and the space of all split bodies will be superimposed and shared to form a hive space. For example, 10 split bodies will share 10 cubic meters of hive space, including the host. All splinters can access items in it, regardless of distance. Consciousness sharing is equivalent to a dedicated cloud disk. The host and all split bodies can upload skills and ideas to the cloud, and then download and fuse them as needed, including muscle memory, etc. All the splinters are absolutely loyal, and they independently complete and perfect the host's plans and goals. When the splinters reach a certain scale, they can also develop a hive mind." Luge's eyes lit up. Both the hive space and the hive thinking are two against the sky. He made a quick judgment. Now this point can only be exchanged for 1 intermediate fighter or 2 junior fighters. Right now, the most important thing in this situation is to save lives. 2 junior fighters definitely have an advantage over 1 intermediate fighter. Exchange, 2 junior fighter level splits. 2,000 energy points disappear. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. The space shook, and 2 young men in short leather jackets who were exactly the same height, shape, and appearance as Luge stepped out. The deity. The 2 splinters stood beside Luge. Looking at the 2 split bodies, Luge felt like looking in a mirror. With a thought, the 2 split bodies raised their left hands and right feet at the same time. Sure enough, their minds are connected, and they can be directed only by their thoughts. Luge frowned again, their looks and identities. The old bull bee explained, "The initial appearance of the split body is based on the host, and they still have a chance to change their appearance, either randomly, or according to the host's requirements. As for identity, the splinter body will automatically obtain a federal legal identity, which can be checked on the entire network." Luge gave a thumbs up. "It's amazing, just because you can get the legal status of the Federation without anyone noticing, it's better than the Zerg brood." Luge left the hive space with 2 split bodies and reappeared in place. He looked at the time on his watch. It seemed that after he entered that space, the time outside was still. One of the 2 splits retained his form. The other looks random. At this time, Luge also saw 5 black-scaled wild boars the size of a car approaching in the distance. "Carried me." A split body quickly carried Luge on its back, and rushed towards the interior of the residential building. The other split body that retained Luge's appearance stayed in place, and he grabbed the blood shadow sword on the ground. As the 5 wild boars got closer, the split body suddenly swung a knife at him. Crack! His 2 calves flew out. Blood splatter. Click! A wild boar with black scales opened its mouth wide and swallowed 2 severed legs in one gulp, causing blood to splash. The remaining black-scaled wild boars rushed forward. The split body did not make a sound from beginning to end. All that remained was the horrible sound of chewing and the pungent smell of blood. In the attic on the roof of the residential building not far away, Luge was lying by the messy window, only 2 eyes were exposed. He looked at all this indifferently. Whoosh! At this moment, a sturdy figure suddenly appeared. Cheng Lidong went and came back again. 5 black-scaled wild boars roared and rushed over when they spotted humans. Laugh! The knife flashed, and 5 wild boars were pierced through their hearts in no particular order. They shook at the same time, and the heavy corpse fell to the ground. Boom! Cheng Lidong stepped through the smoke and dust, and stood in front of the broken corpse. The splinter's neck has been bitten off. The rolled head was covered in blood. Luge has been in the team for 3 years, so he will naturally not admit his mistake. Cheng Lidong whispered, "Be careful sailing for 10,000 years, I can only feel at ease when I see you die with my own eyes." He raised his alloy boots and stomped them down heavily. Crack! Cheng Lidong showed a satisfied smile. He looked around and suddenly frowned. Where did the bodies of the 4 wild boars go? Have you been dragged away by other monsters? Cheng Lidong suddenly remembered the legend of the ruins of number 308 county. Is that thing really here? He looked up at the sky in shock, and immediately left. After a while, he caught up with the military Humvee parked more than 10 miles away. As soon as he got into the car, the yellow-faced man asked, "Brother, how are you doing?" Cheng Lidong started the car, "Dead, no bones left." "Ha ha!" Su Zhang smiled with satisfaction, "Old Cheng, you are safe when you do things, and I will transfer the final payment to your account later." Young Master Su, then Luge is our team's sharpshooter and responsible for firepower. This time our team suffered heavy losses. Cunning, can I add another 10 million to you? Young Master Su is bright. Cheng Lidong also smiled. Climb up the big tree of Sujiang, and you will not worry about not getting a big job in the future. In addition, there is the 7 Series combat uniform that Luge said to give him before. Unexpectedly, this kid has secretly saved so much money in the past 3 years. Fortunately, he was killed, otherwise it would not be his turn. The resident upstairs. Luge kept staring at Cheng Lidong and walked away. He exhaled lightly, and finally tricked the old Yinbai. After receiving the memory, he knew Cheng Lidong's character too well. Cruel, hypocritical, suspicious. If you don't do it yourself, you don't follow the truth. You won't feel relieved if you don't see the dead body with your own eyes. There is another life debt, let's count it slowly later. Go, collect those 5 wild boars. The split body next to Luge jumped down immediately, and quickly rushed towards the 5 wild boar corpses. Hint, harvest 3000 energy points. The corpse of a junior beast soldier can provide 500 energy points. The corpses of 2 beast soldiers can be exchanged for a junior warrior level split body. 3000 energy points can be exchanged for 3 junior fighters, or 1 intermediate fighter plus 1 junior fighter. The split body has returned, still holding the blood shadow sword in his hand. Luge looked at his first split body. "From now on, your name will be Ada." Ada nodded and stood in front. "Old Bull B, exchange for 3 primary fighter splits, with random appearances." The exchange was successful, please accept. 3 split bodies stepped out from the void and stood with Ada. Luge watched them gradually frowning. 4 split bodies, 1 knife. Unfortunately my gun was taken away. He is the sniper in the team, proficient in all kinds of firearms. If you have a gun in your hand, it will greatly increase your chances of survival in the wilderness. After all, ordinary beast soldiers can be killed with hot weapons. Luge began to calculate. Su Xiao's threat was temporarily lifted, so his threat only remained in the wilderness area. Supplies and equipment must be replenished. The nearest supply point is about 100 miles away. If all goes well, it can arrive in 4 hours. This is the edge of the ruins of the county seat, and there are not many monsters. As long as you hide here and be quiet, it won't be a problem for one night. Ada, you go to the supply point. After arriving at the supply point, Ada doesn't need to come back for the time being. Used as a mobile warehouse. Buy whatever you need. Luge has tried it just now, and the hive space is really easy to use. He now has 4 split bodies, and the portable space has increased to 4 cubes. Unaffected by distance and weight. No matter where the split body deposits items, he can take them out here. However, the honeycomb space is in a vacuum state and cannot store living things. Luge transferred the money in his account to Ada 60 million. Compared with ordinary people, it is easier for warriors to make money, but he has only saved more than 80 million in 3 years. This is the status quo of the bottom warriors. It looks like a lot, but warrior equipment, channeling skills, body skills, and cheats are all a bottomless pit of spending money. The economy will be better after breaking through to the warrior and god of war ranks. At that time, you can hunt and kill higher level monsters. The material value of a general level monster is more than 10 million. The lord level monster is as high as about 100 million yuan. The beast soldier level is only a few thousand yuan, the gap is too big. Luge believes that with the increase of splits, he will make money faster and faster in the future. Ready to hit the road quickly. In order to cope with the road conditions, Ada took away the only blood shadow sword. If there is danger here, send it back through the hive space. 4 people share a knife. This reminded him of a joke. It is said that there is a poor family who only has 1 pair of pants, and whoever goes out wears them. Luge didn't think it was a joke. He is that poor now. You all pay attention to your vigilance, keep quiet, and wake me up immediately if something happens. Yes. The 3 divisions are on guard in 3 directions respectively. Luge curled up in the temporary haystack and closed his eyes. In the next moment, his consciousness was attached to Ada. He found that he could take over Ada's body, or he could choose to watch in Ada's consciousness like a third party. He didn't choose to take over, but rested in Ada's consciousness. Ada galloped all the way with his saber on his back. If a monster is found in advance, it will go around quietly. Focus on rushing, and never cause troubles. Boom! There was the roar of an engine behind him, and a car was coming. Luge guessed that most of them were warriors rushing back to the supply point in the middle of the night. Ada stood by the side of the road. A dusty military armored vehicle stopped after passing Ada. A bearded man leaned out of the window, and a rough voice came, "Where are you going, brother? Why are you walking on 2 legs? Adeo, go to the nearest supply point. I got separated from the team, and the transportation was destroyed by monsters." "Haha, then you are really unlucky." The bearded man waved, "Get in the car, we'll drop by and pick you up for a while." "Thank you very much." After thanking Adeo, he climbed into the car. In addition to the beards, there were 4 big men holding weapons in the car. After Ada came up, the space seemed a little crowded. Several men looked at Ada vigilantly, and relaxed their vigilance after seeing his attire. "Sit here and squeeze." A man made room for Ada. "Thanks, I'll pay for it." The man grinned, "No need, you have lost all your equipment and backpack, you are a novice who has just been tested." The bearded man turned his head and threw a metal flagon, "Young man, don't be nervous, warriors in the world are one family, and it's normal to lend a helping hand when you are in trouble. Warm up with a drink." Ada said gratefully, "Thank you, I don't drink alcohol." The corner of the bearded man's mouth twitched, "The little guy is quite vigilant, so that's good." Everyone in the car laughed. An hour later, a tall iron tower appeared not far away. "Hey, the supply point is here." The bearded man stopped the car, turned his head and said, "Brother, don't get separated from the team in the future." Ada said seriously, "Thank you, I will remember." Arriving at the registration office of the supply point, Ada successfully passed the registration. The officer in charge of the registration asked, "Guest room costs 300 a day, single family courtyard 2000 a day, which one do you live in?" "Adeo, I'm going to wait for the team to meet up. We have a lot of people, let's have a small courtyard. Swipe the card and pay the deposit." The officer handed over a key. "Yard no T91, ask me to refund the deposit when you leave." Ada took the key, looked at the backs of the bearded man and the others and asked, "Sir, do you know them?" The officer smiled and said, "It's Maury the Beard's Thunder Squad. This guy is warm-hearted and popular at the supply point." "Thanks." Ada glanced at the Quanglei team, then turned and went to the trading hall. 30 packs of drinking water, 30 field nutritious snacks, and 2 sets of military coats. M86 model, 50 heavy machine guns with a caliber of 12.7, and 1 million rounds of bullets. 53rd tier Barrett heavy-duty sniper rifles, 100,000 rounds of ordinary alloy bullets, and 5,000 rounds of special bullets. 10 A2 series blood shadow swords, 10 hexagonal shields. A full set of 1 series combat uniforms, 100 sets. Pack these things up and send them to Yard T91, check out. The trader was stunned for a moment. This is a big customer. "Sir, wait a moment, the total is 45 million, and I will handle it for you immediately. Quickly register and swipe the card, and the transaction is completed." "More than 40 million. Luge was in pain. "Equipment is too expensive, especially combat uniforms, even the lowest series one, a complete set costs 200,000. The higher the series level, the more the price doubles. When it comes to the combat uniforms of the 5 series, a complete set costs 18 million. A full set of combat uniforms for the 9 series costs 12 billion. Of course, there is a reason why it is expensive. The 9 series combat uniform can resist the attack of Lord-level monsters, and it is only worn by the god of war." Luge told Cheng Lidong before that he would give him a 7 series combat uniform as a birthday present. It's actually a lie. He didn't buy it. How could he be willing to pay so much? "We have all the goods purchased by Mr. at the supply point, and they will be delivered to your door within an hour. Do you think it can be done?" "Can." Ada thought for a while. "Do you have an anonymous phone card here?" "You read book www.yuyugonshu.com to get some." "Sorry sir, this one doesn't have one." The trader looked around and whispered, "But I have a friend who has access to this, but the price?" "As long as the price is not outrageous, yes." The trader smiled, "Don't worry, I guarantee the black market price, and someone will send it to you later." Ada came out of the trading floor to prepare for meeting the yard. Su Zhang, Cheng Lidong, and others walked in front. These people obviously drank in the tavern at the supply point. Su Zhang was in a good mood, humming a little song. The yellow-faced man smiled and said, "This time the stumbling block has been removed, and young Master Su will be able to embrace the beauty when he goes back. I'm envious." Su Zhang glanced at him, "You like this too?" "Hey, I've missed his sister-in-law for a long time too, but unfortunately that lunatic is watching closely, my brother won't let me mess with him." Su Zhang turned his head and said with a smile, "Old Cheng, you little brother is a little bit interesting. I like it." Cheng Lidong patted the yellow-faced man's head, "Libe, it's rare that young Master Su appreciates you, you're so good at acting." Cheng Libe said dissatisfied, "Brother, don't hit me on the head all the time, you will become stupid." He made Su Xiao laugh out loud. Luge stared at them, calculating the success rate of Ada's shot. Except for Cheng Lidong, a mid-level general in Dongshen's team, the rest are all high-level fighters. Su Zhang is not even a warrior. Not as good as. Luge's heart was full of killing intent. At this moment, Cheng Lidong seemed to have noticed something, and suddenly turned his head to look at Ada. His eyes are old and sharp. Luge was startled. What a vigilant old dog! Cheng Lidong didn't look away until he watched Ada open the courtyard of T91 with his own eyes. Luge calmed down his killing intent in time and muddled through. He knew he couldn't do anything here. This supply point is very important. For a long time to come, this place will become his material transfer station. Can't go wrong. In less than an hour, the staff at the supply station delivered the supplies purchased by Luge. A dozen or so large boxes full. Ada finished counting them one by one. The staff handed him 3 additional phone cards, unregistered, 500, including 100 yuan call fee. The price was fairly reasonable, and Ada paid the bill happily. The next moment, Luge's consciousness returned to his body. Ada's supplies have been put into the hive space. Each of the 3 splits has a set of combat uniforms. Each person has a sniper rifle and a machine gun, and the bullets are in the honeycomb space, and they can be taken whenever they need it. Luge transferred all his skills and knowledge about firearms to the past. His body hunted monsters in the wilderness for 3 years. His marksmanship has long been proficient. The 3 split bodies instantly accepted these marksmanship experience and muscle memory. Their bodies trembled at a small frequency, which was fine-tuning their muscles. When he opened his eyes again, his eyes became sharper. They have completely inherited all marksmanship-related skills and experience. The 3 splinters were wearing combat uniforms, each holding a gun, and guarded the small building. Luge took out a thick military coat and put it on his body. I ate an energy bar with water. It was much more comfortable now. There is one more important thing to arrange right now. He took out a mobile phone with a new card from the space and dialed a number. Which one? A cold female voice came from the other end of the phone. Lu Yan, I'm Luge. Through the memory of the original owner, he learned that Lu Yan was his child. At the age of 19, both of them became warriors at the same time. Luge joined the HR Alliance. Lu Yan chose to join the military, and now he has become a captain, the deputy leader of the military's special operations team in Black Cloud City. Different choices did not affect the friendship between the two. Fart, I'm still working overtime. Hearing the fiery voice on the other side, Luge pulled out a smile. It's nothing, I just miss you. Lu Yan reacted quickly, borrow money? I didn't. Luge continued to be greasy, I don't borrow money, I just haven't chatted with you for a long time, and I want to hear your voice. Now you hear me, hang up. Wait, I have something to do. Luge stopped talking, I can't go back to the wilderness area now, can you take my sister-in-law and Zayadunzit to live with you tomorrow for a few days? I can go back in a week at most. Is your sister-in-law in trouble? There's a with evil intentions, but you don't need to intervene, I can solve it myself. Then be careful, I will pick you up early tomorrow morning. Thank you. Lu Yan was silent for a while. Next time you have something to say, if you dare to tease me, I will give you a discount on your legs. Okay. After hanging up the phone, Luge let out a long breath. Lu Yan lives in the military compound, which is heavily guarded. She is also a captain, and her sister-in-law and little niece are safe in Lu Yan's house. No matter how arrogant Su Zhang is, he dare not mess around in the military compound. Su Zhang and Cheng Lidong must be knocked out within a week. Luge sat cross-legged in a corner with his overcoat on. He looked down at his 2 broken legs, and his mood was not as bad as he imagined. On the contrary, he was a little rejoiced. Glad to be alive again. Although the leg is broken, at least it is still alive. Moreover, this body is young and vigorous, and it is also a high-level fighter. Feeling the surging vitality in his body, Luge couldn't help but raise the corners of his mouth. Normal people don't appreciate the joy of being born again after a long-suffering illness. Just lost the legs for a while. This is a world that devours the starry sky, where everything is possible. The water of life can do the rebirth of a broken limb. Although the price of water of life is as high as 30 billion. But now he has hives and split bodies. As long as he is not impulsive or wasteful, and plans to develop the size of the split body before moving, it is not difficult to collect 30 billion. Luge began to take stock of useful information on himself. In addition to his proficient marksmanship, his body also practiced a storm sword technique. Gust of wind sword technique, a clevel sword technique, is divided into 3 levels, and it can be doubled when practiced to perfection. It's a pity that the progress of the original body is still spinning on the first floor. He is not interested in knife skills, and he has very little time to practice. He put most of his energy into pondering marksmanship. No matter how small the mosquito legs are, they are still meat. Although storm sword technique is not comparable to 9 layers of thunder saber, the double increase at this stage is not bad. The split body should develop in a balanced manner. Hot weapons are no problem against beast-level monsters at this stage. After reaching the beast general level, they will be stretched. Beast-level monsters have strong vitality, and it is difficult to kill them unless they are hit with special bullets. In the later stage, it mainly relies on improving one's own combat effectiveness, and sword skills and body skills are essential. Fortunately, now he has a hive consciousness. Memories and skill experiences can be shared. For example, this storm sword technique is different when practiced by 1 person and practiced by 10 people. 10 splinters used the storm knife technique to fight monsters to the death for 3 days in the wilderness area. Combine them all with muscle memory and skill experience. Then the achievement and effect of 1 person practicing for 300 days will be achieved. How about 100 split bodies practicing at the same time? 1,000, 10,000? The experience and skills of so many splits come together, plus the legacy of muscle memory. I believe that it won't be long before the 3rd level of perfection can be practiced in storm sword technique. At that time, all the skills and experience of the 3rd level of the Gale Blade technique will be uploaded to the Hive Cloud. The newly exchanged split body can be directly inherited. This is simply cheating. Luge had heard of the 10,000 hour rule. That is to say, a person who concentrates on learning a certain skill for 10,000 hours can become an expert in this field. In the future, let the split body learn according to the 10,000 hour rule, memory fusion, and experience superposition, then the results will be amazing. Luge will have more experts in many fields. But he also knows. The 10,000 hour rule does not apply to all industries. There is also a limit to the law of 10,000 hours for the split body to use the crowd tactics. For example, in some extremely complex subjects, in addition to memory and comprehension and understanding, there is no way to maintain rapid growth. That is, diminishing marginal returns. The entire growth process should be linear, and there will be no geometric explosion. As the total amount of knowledge increases, the difficulty can only increase. Unless the gene multiple is increased, comprehension and logical analysis ability will be increased at the same time. Think here. Luge suddenly thought of the old bull bee. He tried calling out. The old bull bee unexpectedly escaped from space and appeared in the real world. The pitch-black old buffalo was just floating in front of him. "You need me for something?" The voice of the old bull bee rang directly in his mind. Is there any way for these split bodies of mine, or me as the blueprint, to increase the gene multiple? There is a way. The old bull bee's answer was extremely concise: work hard to earn energy points and exchange for more splits. The more splits you exchange, the more complete the hive will be awakened. It's not difficult to increase the genetic multiple. When will it be? When the total number of your splits reaches a certain number, there is a chance to get a lottery. I see, thank you. After clarifying the doubts in his heart, Luge no longer struggled. His accumulation of knowledge is still far from that bottleneck. Besides, his main goal now is to improve the combat effectiveness of the split body. Whether it's body skills or knife skills, you can directly use a lot of muscle memory and experience to pile them up. This doesn't require much logic and analysis. The law of 10,000 hours can be hard stacked into 100,000 hours or even millions of hours with split bodies. What kind of skills cannot be practiced? Another key to improving the combat effectiveness of the split body is himself. The higher his physical fitness, the higher the level of the split body he exchanged for. Now that he is a warrior level, he can exchange for a warrior level split body. When he reaches the warrior level, Yu read book www.yuyugonshu.com, then he can exchange all of the warrior level splits. When it reaches the God of War level, it will be amazing. After all, the total number of all gods of war on the entire earth is less than 4,000. So the difference now is the speed of cultivation. Luge thought hard, how can we increase the speed of cultivation? The old bull bee suddenly appeared. It vibrated its wings lightly. When the number of your split bodies reaches 108, the hive can evolve into a 5-star array. The 5-star array can increase your cultivation speed by 5 times. The number of splits reaches 10,081, and the hive can evolve into a 6-star array. Can the 6-star array increase the speed of cultivation by 6 times? You guess. Luge was silent for a while. Can you guess or not? Let's increase the number of your split bodies to 10 first, then I will give you a surprise. Luge was a little excited. Reaching 108 split bodies can increase the training speed by 5 times. This hive is amazing. It just seems that this old buffalo is a little unscrupulous. According to what it means, in the future, if there are more split bodies, it can be improved. Wouldn't the level of cultivation be soaring? The higher the level of cultivation in this world, the longer the lifespan. Reaching the planetary level, the lifespan can reach 1,000 years. At the star level, the lifespan can reach 1 epoch, 10,081 years. The following universe level, domain master level, and world master level are too far away, so don't think about it for now. Then set a small goal for yourself, to reach the star rank first, and live him for 10,081 years. Luge silently clenched his fist. This should be the obsession of a former terminal cancer patient. March 2, 2053, sunny. The day after Luge crossed over. Number 308 County Seat Site. The 3 splinters squatted in different sniper positions of the residential building. They have set up their sniper rifles. The sniper rifle mixed with crow alloy reached 2 meters in length, and the gun body was sprayed with camouflage colors. Through the high magnification lens, his cold eyes locked on the black-scaled wild boar wandering 1,000 kilometers away. Boom! The sniper rifle with a silencer still made a dull sound. Heavy sniper rifles cannot completely silence the sound, they can only control the sound so that it does not travel too far. The head of a black-scaled wild boar thousands of meters away instantly blossomed, and fell to the ground convulsed and died. The other black-scaled wild boars immediately raised their heads, searching for the enemy in confusion. It's a pity that their short-sightedness is destined to fail to spot the muzzle of the black hole thousands of meters away. The split body continued to lock on to the target without haste and fired. The few remaining black-scaled wild boars were named one after another. The 3 splits cooperate with each other. Constantly eliminate the surrounding monsters. In one morning, they sniped 12 black-scaled wild boars. 2 guard and cover, and 1 goes down to collect the corpse. A splinter quickly descends the stairs. Recover all the carcasses of these black-scaled wild boars. Of course, he didn't forget to cut off the pot-cover-sized red scale on the wild boar's forehead before recycling. It's worth 3,000 yuan, which is a lot. At least worth the bullet money. Cutting the scales had little effect on the energy points, and Luge accumulated another 6,000 energy points. When looking for the old bull bee to exchange for the split body, a bold idea suddenly flashed in Luge's mind. It can only be exchanged for a male clone? Can't it be exchanged for a female one? The old bull bee glanced at him. As long as the gene chromosome is modified, it can be exchanged for a female split body. Luge became interested. Then I want one, an intermediate fighter. There is little difference between female and male splits when it comes to fighting. But in some specific occasions, women are more dominant. The IQ of the split body is so high, if it is only used for fighting, how is it different from the Zerg? Do not waste. Consumes 2000 energy points. A young woman with a height of 1.76 meters, a wasp waist and long legs came out of the space. The moment Luge saw her, he was slightly taken aback. Her initial look is clearly her own, but slightly different. The contours of a woman's face are softer and her features are more refined. What a beauty! This is what I look like after my change? Tisk, I didn't expect the female version of me to be so good looking. Luge looked at her appreciatively, but then felt something was wrong. This female split body is too similar to herself, like a twin sister. Others will think of themselves when they see it. Old buffalo, I can fine-tune her appearance and figure, right? The old bull bee replied, in addition to the initial appearance, the host can choose to be random or customized, but it can only be changed once. A translucent figure panel appeared in front of him. The image of the female version of the split body appears on it, and there are many options. In addition to appearance, height, body shape, chest, legs, hips, waist, and shoulders can be fine-tuned. Luge smiled, isn't this the same as pinching the face in the game? Get started with the makeover. A perfect female image in his mind slowly emerged. Luge threw her a combat uniform. You are the fifth split body, so let's call it Yuan Yuan. Yuan Yuan put on her combat uniform, her ponytail was tied neatly behind her head, and her almond eyes were even more captivating. Luge nodded in satisfaction, perfect, very seductive. Suddenly, he thought of a tricky operation. It is now 2053, and the plot of Devouring the Starry Sky has not yet begun. Luo Feng, the son of the plane, is still a freshman in high school. The opportunity of the son of the plane is not easy to grab, but his wife can. Send a perfect female split body to fall in love with Luo Feng. Girls at the perfect level can be pure and desirable, can be Yuja, or lowly. The charm of femininity is by no means comparable to that of young Su Xin. It is more than enough to replace Su Xin and take down Luo Feng. Stop! Luge shuddered, and this thought was instantly stifled by him. The main reason is that he can't pass the psychological test. Too disgusting. This world should take a good look at it. Why does a good person start to pervert after transmigrating? Closer to home, there are still 4,000 energy points left. Luge exchanged 4 more junior fighters and assigned them combat uniforms and sniper rifles. With this building as the center, expand the hunting range, don't provoke large herds of wild boars, and advance steadily. Luge was still thinking about what the old bull bee said yesterday, that the number of splinters should be increased to 10 as soon as possible. Including Ada, who is far away at the supply station, there are now a total of 9 split bodies. As long as you exchange 1 more, you can get 10. I don't know what surprises will be there. Go, Yuan, stay by my side. The 7 splinters went downstairs with sniper rifles on their shoulders. They have inherited a wealth of sniping experience, relying on each other to cover, cross forward. Having hive space allows them not to worry about ammunition logistics and just travel light. They search for the best sniper position and continue today's hunt. Boom! Boom! Gunshots sounded rhythmically, and Luge only saw his energy points increase slowly and steadily. Enough for 1,000 energy points exchange for 1 more. 10 split bodies, the first goal is achieved. The voice of the old bull bee sounded in his mind, the hive has initially evolved, and the brain of the host has awakened. The host will control and use the consciousness and mental power of all split bodies, and the brain domain will become the dispatching command center. Buzz. Luge only felt that the sea of consciousness in his brain suddenly opened up. The 10 spiritual powers gathered together and condensed into a blue mist in the sea of consciousness. Mental power soared instantly. The huge mental power quickly washed away his limbs, muscles, bones, tendons. His physical fitness is improving rapidly. In the case of disabled legs, physical fitness returned to senior fighters. Not only that, he felt that his hearing, eyesight, and sense of smell had all been improved in an all-round way. Luge's eyes fell on the steel bars exposed from the cut-off wall downstairs. Crunch! The steel bar suddenly raised its head, twisted and pulled away. A thumb-thick, about 3-meter-long rebar was pulled out from the wall. The rebar twisted like a rope in Luge's gaze. Soon, the 3-meter-long rebar is woven into a big Chinese knot. Psychic power. So I'm a psychiatrist now. 3 more rebars were pulled out of the wall, twisted into twists, and then slowly restored. Luge was ecstatic. His mental power can actually slightly change the elemental structure of the rebar, making the rebar as soft and flexible as a rope. Congratulations to the host. The old bull bee's voice sounded. In the future, the mental power can increase with the number of split bodies. 10 warrior-level split bodies can become a junior warrior psychiatrist. 100 warrior-level split bodies can become a mid-level warrior psychiatrist. 1000 warrior-level split bodies can become a high-level warrior psychiatrist. 10,000 warrior-level or 10 warrior-level splits can become a junior warrior-level psychiatrist. Follow-up advancement, and so on. The level of a spiritual teacher is no higher than 2 levels of physical fitness. Luge knew it well. His current physical fitness has returned to that of a high-level fighter. As long as he has enough split bodies, the level of a psychiatrist can be raised to the level of an intermediate warrior. Luge suddenly thought of something. He turned his hand and took out a hexagonal shield, and the Yu reading book www.yuyuganshu.com plate was placed on it. Mind Control Shield. His body slowly floated up. Sure enough, one of the characteristics of the psychic master is that he can fly with the help of objects. This is something that ordinary god of war powerhouses cannot do. Flying imperial objects can greatly increase his chances of survival. Luge began to focus on practicing imperial flying. Then he understood that flying and levitation were 2 different things. Whoosh! The hexagonal shield flew out, but he didn't. Luge fell headlong from the sky. Fortunately, Yuan had been on guard for a long time, and rushed over to hug him the moment he fell. Hey, come again! Luge had a kind of unwillingness to admit defeat, so he recalled the hexagonal shield and sat on it again. Practice makes perfect, and he can finally fly slowly. The speed increased steadily, faster and faster. In addition to flying straight, he also began to try other tricks. Such as an emergency stop in the air. Like flying backwards. Practicing alone always lacks some meaning. Yuan, I'm flying at low altitude, if you try to attack me, don't show mercy. Boom! He was smashed to the ground by Yuan's flying shield. I haven't said start yet. Luge glared at Yuan and gradually accelerated. Haha, come on! Boom! Luge got up from the ground with a bruised nose and a swollen face, with a puzzled look on his face. It shouldn't be, why can you hit me every time? It must be a coincidence, come again. Half an hour later, Luge was lying on the ground without any image. I won't come, it hurts. Luge was sweating profusely, exhausted from exhaustion. Unexpectedly, Yuan could capture his movement trajectory. Maybe this has something to do with him being the lowest level of psychiatrist. As he levels up, he flies faster and reacts faster. At that time, it will not be easy for warriors of the same level to hit him again. But Luge was not reconciled. Now that Yuan can hit him, there must be something wrong with his flight. Flight trajectory, flight trajectory. Luge lay on his back on the ground, muttering in a low voice. Buzz. Perhaps it was the smell of his sweat that actually attracted a few flies, buzzing around him. The last thing in the wilderness area is the blowfly. Roll. Luge, who was in a bad mood, waved away. However, the fly was driven away and soon flew back again. Luge was furious. Just when he was about to control his mental power to kill them, he suddenly remembered something. Some images of beating flies with fly swatters in the past flashed in his mind. He usually hits flies that sit there, stationary. Flying flies are hard to hit. The same flying moths and mosquitoes are relatively easy to hit. He felt very strange at the time, and specifically investigated the reason. Learn through information. The difficulty of flying flies is mainly related to the flight trajectory. The flight trajectory of flies is elusive and unpredictable. That is not flying randomly, but applying a mathematical principle of Levi's flight. Levi's flight is a random walk, and the trajectory is unpredictable. There is also a kind of random motion in Luge's impression, called Brownian motion. The nature of Brownian motion and Levi's flight is completely different. The distance of each movement of Brownian motion is concentrated in one area. But in Levi's flight, most of the movement distances are very short, and a few movement distances are very long. Therefore, Levi's flight is more efficient than Brownian motion. In the case of the same number of steps or distance, Levi's flight area is much larger than that of Brownian motion, and can explore a larger space. This is crucial for creatures that need to jungle in uncharted territory. Levi's flight makes the trajectory more ghostly and unpredictable. Keeps many predators at bay. Luge's eyes gradually brightened. Why did I forget about Levi's flight, coach? I want to learn this. Levi's flight is much more practical than Lingbo Weibu in martial arts novels. The flight trajectory of the fly is very tricky, and it works for him. Luge cheered up. He enveloped the flies with mental power, trapped them in a fixed space, and continuously simulated and tracked the fly's flight trajectories. At the same time, he also simulated various flight maneuvers in the air. Boom! Ideal is full, the reality is very skinny. The result is either hitting a wall or falling head first. Boom! Yuan couldn't keep up with his speed and changes, and couldn't catch him at all. I can only watch Luge fall from the air again and again like a headless chicken. Even though he was wearing a combat helmet, he was thrown in a mess. Ada, buy more thick sponge pads. Luge was impatient. He covered the entire space with thick sponge pads. Even the corner pillars are wrapped. Finally, don't have to suffer so much. Practice from the morning until the sun sets. Luge was exhausted, and Levi's flight still hadn't started. Tisk tisk. The old bull bee flashed beside Luge. Strangely said, "Host, you now have 10 clones, and you have 10 consciousnesses, why don't you let all the consciousnesses capture and practice at the same time? Each consciousness captures a track to practice, and then organizes and integrates it after learning. Isn't this much faster?" Luge froze, as if struck by lightning. He turned his neck with difficulty. "It's still okay." The old bull bee didn't seem to be bothered to answer, and disappeared after taking a look at him. "It's despising me." Luge understood now that he was despised by the old bull bee. Why didn't I think of this? Simply a pig. The old bull bee opened a new door for him. The fused split body consciousness can also be used for collaborative deduction exercises. The flight trajectory of the fly has been engraved in my mind like a video. Next, each of these consciousnesses can be separated to intercept a simulation exercise. A fly's 1,000-step flight has hundreds of trajectories. The consciousness of the split body is still not enough. It will be late. The 7 splits who went out to play in the jungle are back. Luge was pleasantly surprised to find that they had harvested 35,000 energy points today. It means that they shot and killed 70 beast-level monsters in total. It's very capable, you guys, it's no wonder that you are my avatar. Luge was not stingy with words of praise. But thinking about praising them is praising oneself, so I gave up. Exchange for the lowest primary warrior level split body 35. As soon as 35 powerful split bodies appeared, the floor seemed to be quite crowded. Everyone takes their own guns and combat uniforms and separates. After the group of splinters dispersed to other floors, calm was restored here. So far, the total number of splits has reached 45. The azure cloud of spiritual energy in the sea of consciousness increased several times. Luge divided all the strands of consciousness to study Levi's flight trajectory. The progress of the research suddenly increased. Luge also knew that Levi's flight was not perfect, and flies had a chance of being hit during flight. But what he wants is this principle. Different people using the same trick will have different effects. Not to mention between him and the flies. With the increase in mental power, Luge believes that Levi's flight will definitely surprise him. In the end, the effect of hive thinking is against the sky. When Luge woke up, he found that Levi's flight had been introduced. A new day, the hunt begins. I hope that today's harvest can make our team more than 200 people, let's go. The 44 splinters set off again with guns on their shoulders, and only Yuan was left beside him. Luge levitated with the hexagonal shield. He hooked his fingers at Yuan and said provocatively, "Come here." Woo! A brick came whistling. Luge was taken aback, and barely avoided it. Where are the bricks? The bricks Yuan smashed out were faster than bullets. Continue. Luge and Yuan began to compete again, but today Luge has improved a lot compared to yesterday. Yuan's attack could hardly touch her body. After a while, Yuan was already panting from exhaustion, fine beads of sweat appeared on her forehead, and her movements obviously slowed down. Luge was in high spirits. Levi's flight has gone from jerky to proficient, and his flight trajectory is as elusive as a ghost. The hunting team in the wilderness area has already harvested, and the energy points are increasing. He continued to exchange splits. 2 splinters joined the fray. Together with Yuan, the 3 besieged Luge. The number is still increasing. Before noon, the number of people besieging Luge has exceeded 30 people. 30 people frantically attacked Luge in the space on this floor. Reading www.yuyuganshu.com. The wind howled and the dust was flying. Bricks, shields, and knives were flying all over the sky. In this chaotic environment, Luge flew calmly and flashed, and his figure was as graceful as a butterfly. I don't know how many times better the flying technique is than a fly. Yuan even grabbed a machine gun and fired wildly. The other splinters followed suit, firing machine guns one after another. Da-da-da! Like a metal storm, bullets filled every inch of space on this floor. Luge danced in the hail of bullets in a thrilling manner. Not once was hit. Luge showed a satisfied smile. The body skills in this world are divided into ordinary, nuanced, perfect, and artistic conception. There is no specific standard for flying difficulty. If it is also divided according to the level of agility. According to his own judgment, the current flying level is definitely beyond the subtle level, infinitely approaching the perfect level. Click! A small sound reached his ears. No, the building is about to collapse, get out. Luge jumped down from upstairs with Yuan and many splinters. Boom! As soon as they escaped, the building collapsed. There was smoke and dust everywhere, and there was ruins. We have to find a new base. Luge glared at Yuan, and it was this guy who took the lead in shooting with machine guns. As a result, several supporting beams that were originally broken were interrupted. Just when Luge was going to ask them to find another hiding place. Buzz! A picture came from the split body of the jungler. His heart suddenly picked up. Hold head high. The jungle team was attacked. A huge black shadow quickly swept across the sky. Before a split body could react, it was directly caught and flew into the sky. Take a bite and swallow it. Boom! Da-da-da! Flames spewed out, and the nearby splinters raised their guns to shoot one after another. The special bullet of the sniper rifle hit Sombra's body and bounced off quickly. Not to mention the alloy bullets of machine guns. Can't break the defense at all. Luge's pupils shrank suddenly, and the special bullets of the sniper rifle couldn't break through the defense. This is by no means a beast-level monster. Could it be a lord-level monster? Where did the lord-level monsters come from in County 308? Woo! With howling whines, the black figure swooped down again. That terrifying speed is definitely more than 3 times the speed of sound. Luge's split body had nowhere to hide, and another one was caught in the sky. Crack! Death! After changing the angle of view, Luge finally saw the shadow clearly. This is a huge strange bird more than 20 meters long, with purple feathers rolling thunder in the sun. Luge remembered the information about this strange bird. Purple-winged thunderhawk. Flying monsters rank second, they can reach the lord level as adults, and they have the talent of thunder and lightning. Zi La. A huge thunder net suddenly spewed out from the mouth of the purple-winged thunder eagle, covering a radius of several kilometers in an instant. The 4 split bodies within the range were burnt inside and tender outside by the lightning strike, and fell to the ground twitching. All seriously injured. The purple-winged thunderhawk swooped down again. The huge claws grabbed the 4 half-dead splinters and flew away. Retreat! Luge's face was gloomy, and he immediately ordered the nearby splinters to quickly evacuate from the dangerous area. In the ruins of the 308 county seat, there was a lord-level monster, and it was a very terrifying purple-winged thunderhawk. Can't stay here. Find a place to stay first, and then find a way. My deity, I found an abandoned air raid shelter. Luge immediately took people there. The location is underground in an office building, somewhat hidden. 2 floors were removed to reveal an entrance. The splinter body has been checked down, and it is an abandoned air raid shelter. And there are no monsters entrenched inside. Go down the stairs for more than 20 meters. The air raid shelter hall is about 3,000 square meters. In addition, there are 8 1-meter-wide passages that spread out like spider webs. Small rooms that can accommodate 2 or 3 people are dug out on both sides of the passage. It is estimated that it is used as a war preparation. The standard of construction is very high. The diameter of the reinforced concrete supporting columns is 3 meters. The top of the head is also poured with reinforced concrete, with a thickness of 20 meters, which is estimated to be able to defend against conventional missile attacks. Luge was puzzled. What was the position of the 308 county seat before the Great Nirvana? Why is there such a high specification air raid shelter? After all, the anti-nuclear underground fortress at that time was only 10 meters thick. Stay here first. Luge let all the splinters come into rest. The entrance is so narrow, there is no need to worry about the purple-winged thunderhawk rushing in. Luge glanced at his split body. His face was gloomy. Within a few minutes of fighting the purple-winged thunderhawk, he actually lost 7 split bodies. 3 were swallowed on the spot, and 4 were seriously injured by lightning and taken away. The fighter-level splinters had absolutely no power to fight back against the lord-level purple-winged thunderhawk. Totally abused. He now needs to figure out whether the purple-winged thunder eagle is passing by or entrenched here. If he is entrenched in the county seat, then he can only change places. He still can't afford to provoke lord-level monsters, and warrior-level split bodies are mostly food. Luge counted the number of people. Today, 44 were sent out to play jungle, and 37 came back. There are also more than 30 he exchanged today. The total number of extant divisions is 76. Originally planned to break through 200 today, but the result was less than half. The plan can't keep up with the changes. It's a pity that the 7 split bodies were lost. Luge suddenly noticed something. The 4 seriously injured split bodies are not dead yet. Luge immediately projected his consciousness over. I saw them being grabbed by the purple-winged thunder eagle with its claws, and they were still flying at high speed in the air. Flying towards a cliff in the north of the county seat. The cliffs are steep. There is a huge cave at the top, which is the lair of the purple-winged thunderhawk. The purple-winged thunderhawk flew directly into the nest with 4 split bodies. Luge shared the site of the split body. The nest is spacious and dry, with fine dry grass in the middle. 2 objects on the haystack caught his attention. One is a large egg with purple patterns, more than 1 meter high. The other was a 2-meter-long hairless strange bird, somewhat similar in appearance to the purple-winged thunderhawk. It was a newly hatched little thunderhawk. Seeing his mother come back, the little thunder eagle opened its mouth wide and screamed. It's hungry. Purple-winged thunderhawk threw the 4 split bodies onto the haystack. Don't look at the little thunder eagle just hatched, its mouth is already sharper than a steel knife. The instinct of carnivore makes it bow its head and start pecking. The terrible thunder and lightning destroyed the function of the split body, and it was impossible to resist. It could only be eaten bite by bite by the little thunderbird. This is treating us like food. Luge remembered that it was recorded in the information that the purple-winged thunder eagle didn't like to eat dead things, but only live ones. No wonder it brought back those 4 splits from heavy injuries. Seeing that his child was already eating, purple-winged thunder eagle walked to the entrance of the cave to rest in satisfaction. It combs its feathers in the sun. He narrowed his eyes comfortably. A Lord-level monster already possesses human intelligence, so it doesn't worry about any accidents. Several weak humans have lost their resistance. Besides, it is blocked at the entrance of the cave, so even if there is any accident, it can be resolved immediately. The purple-winged thunder eagle is intelligent, but it's a pity that it doesn't know who it has provoked. Luge quietly took over the body of a split body. This split body was the farthest from little thunder eagle. Even if it was eaten, it would be the last one. While the little thunderbird was eating, he squirmed to the side of the thunderhawk egg without a trace. As long as he has a thought, this priceless thunder eagle egg can be taken into the space. The egg of a junior lord is still a flying lord with a thunder attribute, and it is estimated that it will cost at least several billion. Luge's heart trembled slightly. A few billion is definitely a huge sum of money. But to kill so many split bodies of me, 1 egg is not enough. Luge squinted his eyes, trying to remain as calm as possible. He quietly looked at the little thunderbird that had just hatched. Old Bull Bee, is it true that the hive space can't hold living things? Of course not in a vacuum, but... The old Bull Bee changed his tone. It's okay to transfer for a short time. If you want to save and withdraw quickly, the premise is that the other party is in a coma or in a sealed container. Clear. He now has 76 split bodies, and the hive space expands to 76 cubes. Can accommodate a lot of turnover. Ada bought equipment and supplies before, and the few metal boxes that were vacated are still there. The length, width, and height are all suitable, just enough to hold this little thunderhawk. Luge began to observe secretly. Little Thunder Eagle was eating happily, completely unaware of his next fate. The adult purple-winged thunderhawk was still basking in the sun with its eyes squinted at the entrance of the cave. Reading www.yuyugonshu.com. If you don't do it now, when will you wait? Whoosh! The Thunder Eagle egg suddenly disappeared, and was collected by Luge into the hive space. Then 3 huge boxes appeared out of thin air. Boom! The 3 boxes were buckled upside down. The accurate little Thunderhawk who couldn't react in time in the future and the two seriously injured split bodies were completely contained in it. The purple-winged Thunder Eagle at the entrance of the cave suddenly woke up, turned around and sprayed out dense lightning nets. Zi La! Thunder and lightning instantly flooded the entire cave, but it was too late. Receive! Luge instantly put the 3 boxes into the hive space. Finding that the little Thunderhawk and the Thunderbird eggs were gone, Purple-winged Thunderhawk went crazy. Several thunderbolts struck the split body that Luge took over. Injury upon injury, he was dying. The skin all over his body was cracked, emitting blue smoke. He even smelled a barbecue. The internal organs are almost cooked. Purple-winged Thunder Eagle lowered its huge head, staring at him angrily. Stab! One claw tore off one of the split body's thighs, steaming hot and dripping with blood. Luge screamed in pain. The splinters are frail and fiddled with like cardboard men. Luge opened his mouth full of blood, and said with a sinister smile, "Come on, Dad will show you a big baby." Using his inertia, he mustered up his last strength and rolled to the side. The moment he turned over, a row of high-explosive mines was exposed behind him. Boom! Terrible flames and shock waves instantly engulfed the entire cave. The huge rock cave collapsed with a crash. Hold head high! The purple-winged Thunderhawk broke through the ruins and let out a shrill roar. The 2 children disappeared under its nose. It's crazy. Even if the instigator is killed, it still cannot relieve hatred. The purple-winged Thunderhawk is surrounded by purple lightning, it flies at 3 times the speed of sound, and crazily attacks all humans within sight. The warriors in the wilderness area were frightened and returned to the city one after another. Luge also opened his eyes in the air raid shelter. His face was pale and he felt terrified. All the feelings after taking over the split body are real. Shocked, torn apart, blown to pieces. And the darkness before death. The heart-piercing pain made him tremble all over. In the future, if you don't have to, you should refrain from doing this kind of thing. It's so exciting. But overall, it's a comeback. Not too bad. With the thought in Luge's mind, several items were taken out from the honeycomb space. 1 Thunder Eagle egg, 3 large metal boxes. There was an intense crashing sound from the box containing the little Thunderhawk. Luge ignored little Thunder Eagle and opened the other 2 metal boxes first. Inside are the 2 severely injured split bodies. Their situation is indeed not optimistic, and most of their bodily functions have been destroyed. Luge frowned, he didn't have the medical conditions for such a serious injury. It has to be sent to a professional medical institution, and it must be done as soon as possible. Just when Luge planned to send the 2 split bodies to Ada, and sent Ada to a medical institution for help in treatment. Old Niu Feng's voice suddenly sounded in his mind. Send them in quickly, before there is time. Luge froze for a moment. Can Lao Niu Feng repair the injuries of these 2 split bodies? Then Luge appeared in that white space. The 2 split bodies rose slowly and flew directly towards the huge hive in the air. Luge noticed that their bodies were getting smaller. The closer to the hive the smaller the size becomes. Luge watched them fly into 2 of the countless hexagonal cells on the hive. Is this considered a return to the factory for repair? The old bull bee's wings vibrated, each split body can enjoy a free treatment, and this kind of injury can be cured after 3 days. Luge pointed to his leg, then why can't my leg be healed? You are the host. If you do gene therapy here, it will affect your future development. What a high-sounding reason. Luge was quite helpless. He looked at the blank space around him, it's all white, don't you think it's too monotonous? The voice just fell. Luge's feet suddenly turned into a lush green lawn, which quickly spread to the surrounding area. One after another, colorful flowers bloomed on the grass, and butterflies danced around. This feeling is so real, Luge can even smell the fragrance of flowers. But in the next moment, the grass, flowers, and butterflies all disappeared. The surroundings became pure white again. The old bull bee said, "Maintaining a beautiful scenery requires energy, and the increase in the strength of the hive is zero, which is meaningless. Your human aesthetics are very strange. The definition of beauty and ugliness does not conform to natural evolution. For example, the beauty you define should be strong, with big arms and round waists, with big buttocks to give birth to children, and those who can't run around, they should just stay at home and give birth. It's bad to have less than 3 babies, but it's average to have 5 babies, and it's really beautiful to have more than 10 babies." Feeling that the words were not speculative, Luge withdrew from the hive base. "Yes, that white space is the hive base," the old bull bee said it himself. "Fortunately, this guy is not human. If the little fairies of WB know its remarks, it can kill it." The 2 splinters went in to heal their wounds, and Luge finally felt better. Only then did he have the time to look at the box containing Little Thunder Eagle. As soon as the box was opened, Little Thunder Eagle screamed and jumped out. Just as it flapped its featherless wings and wanted to escape, Luge pinched its long mouth. "Little bald man, do you like cumin or chili noodles?" Little Thunder Eagle couldn't understand what he said, so he flapped his little wings vigorously. Nay, he couldn't get rid of his claws no matter what. Luge's eyes glowed with gold. He looked at the hairless Little Thunder Eagle, like looking at a golden mountain. In the original book, the dragon egg that Luo Feng stole was sold for 5 billion. They are also the eggs of Lord-level monsters. Luge's Thunder Eagle egg also has thunder and flying attributes, so if it's not more expensive than that dragon egg, at least it can't be cheaper than it. The value of this newly hatched Little Thunder Eagle is about the same as that of a Thunder Eagle egg, at least a few billion. Seeing that the combined value of the two would be around tens of billions, Luge suddenly became high. 10 billion. How many warriors have the goal of life? This tens of billions of wealth is enough to make up for his previously injured heart. Mother's debt is repaid, this statement is justified everywhere. Tie it up first. Several splinters went over to catch Little Thunder Eagle and tied them up like Zongzi. Although the adult Thunderhawk was terrifying, the newly hatched little Baldy was nothing without its mother's protection. Wings, feet, all tied up. Even the mouth was covered to avoid making noise. Close it in the box first, feed meat and water every day, and don't let it die. Luge sent 2 split bodies to take care of Little Thunder Eagle. "No way, it's too expensive. You have to serve Party A's father the same way you serve Party A's father." Compared to the troublesome Little Thunderhawk, the egg of the purple-winged Thunderhawk is much easier to handle. It was sent directly to the supply station and let Otto keep it first. "I'm looking for an opportunity to sell it after I finish dealing with the matter here." Originally, storing directly in the honeycomb space is the safest and most worry-free. But Luge wasn't sure if this Thunderhawk's egg would become a dead egg that couldn't hatch if it was stored in a vacuum environment for a long time. If he becomes a villain, 5 billion will be in vain. Could it be that he couldn't find a place to cry? It's better not to take risks with such a valuable thing. Through Ada's news channel, Luge has also heard the news that a pipluing Thunder Eagle went crazy in the wilderness. This caused many martial artists who had experienced in the wilderness to return to the city, or return to the nearest supply point. Flying lords are the most difficult to deal with, they move fast and can fly. Even a god of war level powerhouse would find it extremely difficult to kill. Warrior level and warrior level fighters will only have to wait for death when they meet. Although the purple-winged Thunderhawk was crazy, he wasn't stupid enough to attack the human base city. Human bases are defended by laser cannons. Even if the Lord level is hit by a laser cannon and survives, it will be seriously injured. What's more, if the attack on the man-made base city causes a large number of human deaths, then the strong human parliamentarians will be dispatched. Human fighters who have reached the level of parliamentarians may be able to fly. The threat to the purple winged thunderhawk is too great. Looks like I haven't completely gone crazy. Yu reading www.yuyugonshu.com. Luge showed a sneer and began to plan. He wanted to kill Thunderhawk. Who said that only a counselor, planetary, level powerhouse can kill a lord-level purple-winged Thunderhawk? As long as the design is good, he, a little warrior-level warrior, may not be able to touch the tiger's butt. The most important thing for a family is to be tidy. I will work hard to reunite you mother and child as soon as possible. One bad idea after another kept popping up in Luge's mind. I don't know what came to mind, his smile gradually changed. I lost my temper. Luge restrained his smile and looked around. This is very bad. Make him feel like a villain. Humans and monsters are originally sworn enemies. As long as the monsters can be eliminated, it doesn't matter what method is used, what matters is the result. The more monsters you eliminate, the less of a threat humans are. As long as the purple-winged Thunderhawk can be established, it is a human hero. Under his enlightenment, Luge felt that his mission had become sacred. But before starting the purple-winged Thunderhawk, there are still many things to prepare. Ada began to purchase various supplies through the online mall. The air raid shelter should focus on construction here. Luge asked the splinters to start transforming this ultra-high standard underground fortification. He has already decided to set the place to pack up the purple-winged Thunderhawk here. The air raid shelter has a small range and has great restrictions on the activities of large monsters. In this environment, the purple-winged thunder could not take advantage of its speed. As for whether purple-winged thunder will come, he is not worried. As long as the little bald boy is in hand, the old flat hair will definitely come. It's not easy to be a salted fish. The matter of the purple-winged thunder eagle made Luge, who was so dedicated to being a fish, determined to practice, first make himself stronger, and then the split body can follow suit. Only when the split body is strong can he be a salted fish with peace of mind. If he now has a warrior-level physical fitness, he can exchange for a warrior-level split body. He was originally a high-level fighter, and his physical fitness was not far from the general level. You have to work harder. The old bull bee said it before. As long as 108 split bodies can be gathered together, the 5-star array can be opened, increasing the speed of cultivation by 5 times. Now he has 76 splits, and he is only 30 more away from the goal. It's just that the purple-winged Thunderhawk went crazy outside during the day, and the split body couldn't go out to hunt. Not even at night. Under normal circumstances, the purple-winged Thunderhawk would not act at night, but if it was alarmed by gunshots, no one knew what would happen. After all, the purple-winged thunder eagle is now extremely sensitive to gunshots, and especially hates people who use firearms. The advantage of these splinters is their marksmanship. If they can't use their guns, their hunting ability will plummet. In addition, there is another way, that is, Luge himself. His legs are disabled now, but that doesn't mean he has no fighting power. He is a psychiatrist and has also learned how to fly Levi, which is enough to deal with ordinary scenes. The hunting team cooperated with him to set off, and the safety factor was also improved a lot. Next comes the question of the use of weapons. Psychics have several directions, and it seems that the most effective attack method is to use throwing knives. Even Destiny's Child uses flying knives, so he doesn't need to find another way. For ordinary hunting, 5 series throwing knives are enough. But if you want to hurt a lord-level monster, you need at least a 7 series throwing knife. A 7 series flying knife costs 3 million yuan, which is very expensive. To buy equipment and weapons these days, he has little money and money left. The money on the body is enough to buy 3. Luge looked again at the box where Little Thunder Eagle was imprisoned. Just be patient, you will have money soon. Luge told Ada to buy 2 7 series throwing knives first. Ada's efficiency is very high, and 2 7 series throwing knives were sent through the honeycomb space. Buzz. Under the control of Luge's mental power, 2 7 Series flying knives floated in front of him. Following his thoughts, 2 7 Series throwing knives burst out of the air in an instant. Whizzing! 2 afterimages whizzed through the air. Luge has never practiced throwing knives before, but in his opinion, it is nothing more than 3 points, fast, accurate, and ruthless. The other is to control the flight path of the flying knife. When encountering simple enemies, the 3 elements of quickness, accuracy, and ruthlessness are enough. If you encounter a powerful and difficult enemy, you need to adjust the trajectory of the flying knife. At least it has to be as erratic and unpredictable as Levi's flight. Luge has already learned how to fly Levi, and it is not difficult to apply Levi's flying skills to flying knives. There are still 3 hours until dark. He settled down and practiced the knife-throwing skills seriously. Whoosh whoosh! There was a sound of breaking through the air in the air raid shelter, and only the faint shadows of the 2 flying knives flickered. After practicing for more than 2 hours, Luge felt that his mental strength was going to be exhausted. It dawned on him that he had practiced for so long. It was the first time Luo Feng, the child of destiny, used a flying knife to hunt and kill monsters, and he almost used up his mental power after hunting only 30 or 40 monsters. He actually practiced for more than 2 hours. Do you have so much mental power reserve? Looking at his own sea of consciousness, the cloud of azure blue mist was indeed even bigger. It is the sum of the spiritual power condensed from 76 split bodies. Now, Luge finally realized something. His current mental strength is still at the level of a junior fighter, but his mental power reserve far exceeds that of a warrior-level psychologist. After all, his mental power reserve comes from his split body, and is not limited by level. With 100 split bodies, there is a mental power bonus of 100 split bodies. With 2000 split bodies, that is the spiritual power bonus of 2000 split bodies. No matter what grade. Luge laughed immediately. The strength of mental strength is not enough to make up the amount. If a psychiatrist of the same level can fully display it for 10 minutes, then as long as he has enough split bodies, it may not be impossible to use all his strength for 3 days and 3 nights. This is his advantage. Now in the final analysis, the number of split bodies is not enough. To increase the cultivation speed by 5 times requires 108 split bodies. It takes 100 splinters to increase the level of psychiatrist to intermediate warrior. He asked the old bull bee that these 2 needs can overlap. As long as he has 108 split bodies, while increasing his cultivation speed by 5 times, he can also raise the level of a psychiatrist to an intermediate fighter. Tonight, this goal must be achieved. It was almost dark. Luge directly sent 3 splinters to act as scouts. Early warning is very important. If there is any danger, he will know the news at the first time, so as to make a judgment. Especially pay attention to the heavens. Under normal circumstances, the purple-winged thunderhawk doesn't come out at night, but who knows if it will change its habits when it is stimulated now. Be careful with everything. Night falls. The roar of monsters came from the wilderness area. Luge set off under the protection of a dozen splinters. Good steel must be used wisely, and the huge reserve of mental power must be sparingly used. With his back on her back, Yuan quickly moved in the wilderness area. According to the information sent back by the split body in front, 30 miles to the northeast, there is a herd of red-scaled wild boars wandering. About 10 or so. This is a small herd of red-scaled wild boars. Through investigation, it was found that there was no beast general in this group of red-scaled wild boars. Just right for practice. Fast approach. Several hundred meters away from those red-scaled wild boars, Luge asked Yuan to stop. He sat on the hexagonal shield and slowly floated up. The hexagonal shield was almost touching the ground, silently approaching the herd of red-scaled wild boars. Yu reading www.yuuganshu.com. Getting closer. Luge could almost smell the stench of the red-scaled wild boars. Let's start. 2 7 Series throwing knives burst out of the air instantly with 2 cold lights. Poof! Poof! 2 flying knives pierced the heads of 2 red-scaled wild boars, and blood spattered. 7 Series throwing knives are weapons that can hurt Lord-level monsters. Piercing the heads of these beast-level monsters is as easy as piercing tofu. The 2 flying knives carried brains and blood. Puff! Flying out from the head of a red-scaled wild boar, it pierced the head of another red-scaled wild boar in an instant. It's like wearing candied haws. One after another, the heads of the red-scaled wild boars were pierced, blood spattered, and their limbs twitched and fell to the ground. The other red-scaled boars were at a loss. Frightened, they started howling and fleeing, but unfortunately Luge didn't give them a chance. He flew at low altitude on a hexagonal shield, and killed these red-scaled wild boars one by one. As the last red-scaled wild boar fell, the 2 throwing knives returned to Luge's side. Blood does not stain the blade. From Luge's surprise attack to the fall of the last red-scaled wild boar, the whole process only took 30 seconds. The killing efficiency is astonishingly high. No wonder psychiatrists are so popular on Earth, they have a huge advantage over ordinary warriors. His kung fu alone for a while is equal to the hunting and killing of many splinters for half a day. Without Luge's instructions, the splinters that followed quickly recovered the corpses of these red-scaled wild boars. All replaced by energy points. Luge pursed his lips, looking for the next location. Since taking over this body, this is the first time that Luge has truly hunted monsters alone. From walking on thin ice at the beginning to being cautious now. Luge felt that he couldn't be too careful. After all, there is only one life. He had to cherish the opportunity that came so hard. However, there was always a question in Luge's mind. Since he can transfer his soul, he can directly take over other split bodies. So if his life is in danger, can he directly transfer his soul to the split body? Wouldn't he live forever if he could? When you have a chance, you have to ask the old bull bee. Get rid of distracting thoughts in your mind, and continue hunting. In an environment where most of the beast-level monsters were around, a psychiatrist with 7 series of throwing knives was almost invincible. The hunting efficiency is also extremely high. One monster after another died under his throwing knife. As long as he is staring at him, there is no possibility of escape. In 2 hours, Luge hunted down 60 or 70 beast-level monsters. Boom! Among the beast-level monsters, it is almost like destroying the dead. But there are accidents everywhere in the wilderness area, and Luge is still in trouble. A two-tailed tiger cat at the level of a beast general was consumed with him. The two-tailed tiger cat was extremely fast, turning into afterimages, chasing Luge crazily. Luge flew low, and Levi's flying agility finally showed its power. The figure is erratic, elusive. The two-tailed tiger cat couldn't catch Luge, and Luge's throwing knife couldn't hit the two-tailed tiger cat. Luge is only a junior warrior level psychiatrist, and his throwing knives are not fast enough. The reaction speed of the beast general level two-tailed tiger cat is too abnormal. The two sides fell into a stalemate for a while. Luge was secretly anxious, and had already converted all the energy points earned tonight into split bodies. There are still 3 short of 100 split bodies. As long as he reaches 100 split bodies, his level of spiritual master can break through the middle-level fighter. While delaying time with the two-tailed tiger cat, Luge let the other splinters act. The gun cannot be used, for fear of attracting the purple wing thunderhawk. But they can also fight in melee with the blood shadow sword. On the periphery far away from the central battlefield, many splinters also began to hunt and kill. After practicing together, they have become quite proficient in mastering the Gale Blade technique. Especially in cooperation with each other, the split body has an absolute advantage. The mind is connected and the clothes are seamless. the resulting effect must be 1 + 1 greater than 2. Using knives is slightly less efficient than using guns, but the coordination of so many split bodies is still rewarding. Under the coordinated attack of the split body, one after another, the beast-level monsters fell down. Power points are increasing. After more than 10 minutes, I finally got the amount to exchange for 3 split bodies. Exchange. Luge let out a low growl. 3 split bodies stepped out, and the number of split bodies finally reached 100. The moment the quantity reaches the standard, the spiritual energy in his sea of consciousness buzzed, and his mental power broke through. Officially became a mid-level warrior-level psychiatrist. The effect was obvious, and the speed of the 2 throwing knives increased by a large amount in an instant. Pfft! A flying knife pierced the head of the two-tailed tiger cat, and blood spattered. The two-tailed tiger cat screamed, and the body fell. Luge finally breathed a sigh of relief, and finally killed this difficult guy. Beast generals are beast generals, with fast speed and abnormal reactions. If it weren't for his psychiatrist-level breakthrough, it would not be possible. The payoff is also huge. This two-tailed tiger cat directly provided Luge with 50,000 points of energy. Not only that, the material of the beast general level is comparable to that of the beast soldier level. The material of the two-tailed tiger cat is worth at least 13 million. It is undoubtedly good news for Luge, who is about to run out of savings. Harvest. Seeing a large number of energy points, Luge directly exchanged for more than a dozen high-level warrior-level splits. This makes the number of his split bodies close to 102. The target task has been completed. Luge showed a smile. With his current hunting speed, the number of split bodies will soon exceed 1,000, or even 10,000. If it exceeds 10,000, he can reach the level of a junior warrior-level psychiatrist. A warlord-level psychiatrist is enough to gain a foothold in the base city of northern Liaoning. The repeated hunting has made him feel a little tired. Luge accepted it as soon as he saw it, and returned along the original road. In the bomb shelter, many split bodies are busy in full swing. They worked overtime in the tunnel of the air raid shelter to make an ambush. Many split bodies that have just been exchanged have also joined them. Luge entered a small room in one of the passages. Here is his temporary foothold. The small room was tidy, and the quilt sent by Otto was also laid out. In addition, there is a wheelchair. After all, after returning to the base city, he had to rely on a wheelchair for a long time. The wheelchair is made of the latest alloy, which is light in weight and high in strength. The design is also ergonomic and comfortable to sit on. With a flash of light, Luge appeared in the hive base. Can we activate the 5-star formation now? Buzz. A 5-star formation emitting blue light lay flat in front of him. In the very center of the 5-star formation, a figure that has shrunk countless times to the size of a thumb is sitting there. Look carefully, isn't that your own shadow? The 5 corners of the 5-star formation are also shining with blue light. These 5 horns also have uses. The old Bulby replied, you can arrange the souls of any of your 5 split bodies in the 5 corners, and they can also enjoy 5 times the speed of cultivation. Is there such a good thing? Luge was overjoyed immediately. He first put Ada and Yuan's phantom into it. After all, the 2 represent different meanings. The other 3 places will be randomized, and whoever is lucky will get it. How about trying 5 times the speed of cultivation? What Luge practiced was AC and level channeling technique. This channeling technique is also considered to be the best in the Clevel, and it cost more than 30 million when it was bought. Operation Guidance. Cosmic energy continuously enters the body, transforms into genetic energy, nourishes and tempers the body. As soon as he started practicing, Luge noticed the difference. The speed of gathering cosmic energy around is 5 times faster. Not only that, the ability of the cells in the body to accommodate and absorb the original energy of genes has also increased by 5 times. This increase is comprehensive, and the overall speed is increased by 5 times. This increase feels particularly obvious. It's like stepping from a rugged narrow path to a spacious and flat hardened concrete road. This is just a clever channeling technique. After he sells the little Thunderbird and the Thunderbird eggs, he will have money, and then he can buy a set of level channeling skills. How does it feel to increase the speed of level channeling by 5 times? Luge couldn't wait any longer. The phone vibrated suddenly. It was the unregistered calling card. It seems that only Lu Yan knows this number. Yu reading www.yuyuganshu.com. When Luge picked up the phone, Lu Yan's voice came over. Where are you now? Are you safe? I'm still in the wilderness area. It's safe now. What's wrong? Last time you said that it was Su Zhang from the Su family who was looking for trouble, right? Have you checked? Lu Yan snorted coldly. After I brought your sister-in-law back, I sent an eyeliner to your house, and I found suspicious people wandering around. I followed the clues and found Su Zhang easily. In addition, the rest of your team are back, and the HR Alliance reported that you were missing and scattered. I guess they did something to you. Luge smiled. It's really smart, but they didn't succeed. They thought I was dead. Don't accidentally leak the news that I'm alive. These bastards! Lu Yan was furious. Send me your location, and I will pick you up. Luge hesitated for a while. It's not convenient now. Don't worry, I'm safe here. I'll call you when I go back in 2 days. Lu Yan was silent for a while. Okay then, you can do it yourself. By the way, your sister-in-law is by my side. She is very worried about you. Do you want to talk to her? Luge froze for a moment. For this sister-in-law, the original body has quite complicated emotions. This kid is young and has a lot of trouble. Luge complained mentally. After taking over other people's bodies, these are all things he wants to solve. But these troubles are nothing to the middle-aged uncle whose soul is almost 40 years old. Okay, give the phone to my sister-in-law. After a while, a gentle female voice came from the phone. Little Ge, are you okay? After a brief conversation, the two hung up the phone. Sister-in-law. Luge squeezed the center of his brows, and remembered some memories. No wonder that Su Zhang wants to kill himself. This sister-in-law. Hiss. Luge also mentioned some key information from memory. The original body actually has a secret. He and Big Brother are not brothers. These troublesome things will be dealt with when we go back. Luge put aside distracting thoughts and continued to practice, and the night passed quickly. In the morning, the splinters had finished their work. The air raid shelter was filled with murderous aura. A hole with a diameter of more than 5 meters was opened at the entrance, otherwise the purple-winged thunder eagle would not be able to enter. Everything was ready, just waiting for the purple-winged thunder eagle to cast himself into the trap. Luge reviewed the steps again to ensure that there will be no mistakes in the next step. Most of the splinter bodies have been evacuated, leaving only a small part hidden in various passages. Luge even prepared an iron box for himself. If there is an emergency, he will transfer through the hive space. The splinters hidden in every corner of the county, carefully observe the movement with binoculars. In today's number 308 county seat, there is not a single adventurer team within hundreds of miles around. The Lord-level purple-winged Thunderhawk went crazy, no small matter. It didn't attack the human base city, and the Counselor, planetary, level powerhouse didn't have time to take care of it. Ordinary God of War can't do anything about it, so they have to warn adventurers not to approach County 308 for a short time. Warrior level and warrior level adventurers will naturally not come to die. Except for the monsters wandering around the county town, only the purple-winged thunder eagle was left hunting around in the sky. The purple-winged thunder eagle has appeared at Point Z in the county seat, less than 100 miles away from the air raid shelter. Almost. Luge took a deep breath, and the show was about to begin. I can't bear to let the child not be caught by the wolf. In order to kill the purple-winged thunderhawk, appropriate risk-taking is necessary. Luge sat on the shield and soared into the air. He was suspended right in front of the air raid shelter, less than 10 meters from the ground. The little Liang who was caught in his hands. Shoot and lure it over. The 5 splinters fired a few shots into the sky with sniper rifles on their shoulders. Boom! Boom! The muffled gunshots spread far away. The purple-winged thunder eagle, who was tens of miles away, immediately heard the movement. Its feathers are almost erected. For the gunshots that day, it will never forget that those humans took away its children. The purple-winged thunderhawk turned around and came swiftly at a terrifying speed 3 times the speed of sound. Just as the purple-winged thunderhawk was approaching the target location, he suddenly saw Luge floating in midair. And the little thunder eagle in Luge's hand. He held little thunder eagle by the neck, with a relaxed expression as if he was carrying a roast duck. Seeing his mother, little thunder eagle fluttered excitedly, flapping his 2 little wings desperately, but unfortunately he couldn't escape Luge's palm. Luge showed a weird smile at the purple-winged thunder eagle, and then his body fell sharply. The moment purple-winged thunder eagle saw his child, his eyes turned red, and his feathers stood on end. Unexpectedly, his child was still alive and was caught by that hateful human being. Out of the mother's instinct, it must save the child. Hold head high. The purple-winged thunderhawk frantically pursued Luge. Luge's speed was also very fast, and he landed from a high altitude in an instant. He grabbed the little thunder eagle and quickly flew in towards the entrance that had been ambushed in advance. The purple-winged thunder eagle also came up close. Seeing his child being caught in the air raid shelter, it rushed in without thinking. As soon as I entered, I heard a bang outside. The entrance of the cave was blocked by dozens of tons of boulders. The purple-winged thunderhawk was over 20 meters tall, so it was extremely cramped to move around in the air raid shelter. It watched the man grab the little thunderhawk and rush into a narrow passage. Purple-winged thunderhawk tried to rush in. But Nahi's passage is too narrow, and its huge body can't get in at all. Luge directly put little thunder eagle into an iron cage at the end of the passage. The purple-winged thunder eagle could see it but couldn't reach it. Little thunder eagle let out a shrill cry in the iron cage anxiously, thumping vigorously. This made purple-winged thunder eagle even more anxious. It tried to stretch its claws to reach it, but it was always close. It thrust its neck into the passage again. However, it can only enter through the neck, but not the body. Just when purple-winged thunder eagle stretched his neck in, trying to reach the little thunder eagle, the organ set up by Luge was activated. Along the ground and walls of the passage, 3 steel wire ropes have been embedded with snap buttons by the split body. It is the kind of oil-impregnated steel wire rope doped with crow alloy, which has extremely high toughness and strength. Purple-winged thunder eagle stretched its neck into the tunnel, which was equivalent to stretching its neck into the pre-made looper. Launch! With Luge's roar, 3 steel wire ropes that were as thick as an adult's arm tightened at the same time. Cha-cha! The wire rope immediately strangled purple-winged thunder eagle's neck. Purple-winged thunder eagle was startled and began to struggle frantically. The wire rope and the feathers rubbed against each other fiercely, and sparks flew everywhere. However, this kind of steel wire rope is set like a rabbit's loose buckle, and the more you pull it, the tighter it is. Can't break free at all. A 6-ton counterweight is respectively fixed on the left and right sides of the wire rope. No matter how much the purple-winged thunderhawk struggled, it couldn't get rid of the weight of more than 100 tons. The purple-winged thunderhawk roared angrily. Hold head high. The thunder light on it was tyrannical, and one after another thunder light filled the entire passage. The splinters in the tunnel and the little thunderhawk in the cage were all removed. That's when Purple Wing Thunder Eagle's head got stuck in the tunnel, unable to get in or get out. Crack! Crack! Two thick ropes made of new generation Kevlar fiber lock its legs respectively. Two cylinder diesel engines with a displacement of 13 liters, 600 HP, and a pulling force of 250 tons were already ready. Boom! The moment the Purple Wing Thunderhawk's legs were clasped, the two engines roared like a beast at the same time. The two ropes were instantly taut. The tensile strength of the new generation Kevlar fiber braided rope is comparable to that of steel wire rope of the same specification. Pulled by a huge force, the two legs of the Purple Wing Thunder Eagle were pulled apart from the left and right, and they fell on the ground with a plop. The height is almost up, come on! 6 high-level fighter-level split bodies appeared carrying a dewar bottle more than 3 meters long and 60 centimeters in diameter. The dewar was clearly modified, with a conical tip like a sharpened pencil. The dewar was wrapped in insulation and slathered with butter. The 6 people held the dewar bottles and ran up behind the Purple Wing Thunder Eagle whose legs were locked. Hey hoo! The 6 of them pushed hard, and the dewar bottle viciously entered through its back door. Jump in! Hold head high! Purple Wing Thunder Eagle let out a terrific scream. Reading www.yuyugonshu.com struggled even more frantically. A small remote control appeared in Luge's hand. Burst! As Luge pressed the red button, a muffled sound suddenly came out of Purple Wing Thunder Eagle's body. Seems like something exploded. A terrible cold air permeated the air instantly. Purple Wing Thunder Eagle's body froze immediately, and then his whole body was covered with a thick layer of ice. Like an ice sculpture, lying there motionless. Nailed it! Luge let out a breath slowly, and sent everyone to check the Purple Wing Thunder Eagle's physical signs. As expected, Purple Wing Thunder Eagle's vital signs disappeared, and he was utterly dead. The dewar bottle contains about 1 ton of liquid nitrogen. The defense of the Lord-level monsters is extremely terrifying. If the liquid nitrogen is detonated outside, it may not be able to hurt the Purple-winged Thunderhawk. But the inside is different. Compared with the invulnerable feathers, its internal organs are much more fragile. A ton of liquid nitrogen detonated in its body, and the terrifying low temperature of -197 degrees instantly froze the Purple-winged Thunderhawk into an ice sculpture. Luge obtained a complete corpse of a Lord-level Pipluwinged Thunderhawk. This thing must be worth 1 billion yuan. Just when Luge commanded the split body to divide the materials, the old bull bee suddenly appeared. Wait first! It quickly flew around the body of the Purple-winged Thunderhawk. Instant death, no trauma on the body surface, the original energy of the thunder system is frozen, and it has not leaked at all. Good thing, I was almost ruined by you. The old bull bee became happy, give it to me.